talked about her pre-game abs, all the trials and tribulations she had just to even make it to AFLW. She's a real old-school warrior.
She certainly is very Joel Selwood-like in this AFLW competition. Generally has some kind of blood per game. So
in she comes for the opening goal of the season. Katie Loynes gets a bit of return on Carlton's investment up forward, and the Blues lead by 11 points with just under a minute and a half remaining in the opening term.
Really good conversion there by Katie Loynes. As you mentioned, her first year as co-skipper of this Carlton side, and she certainly does lead from the front, getting them on the board for the first goal of the game.
Darcy Vesio played every game in AFLW for the Blues. This is her 24th tonight. Only two players in the competition have kicked more goals, Erin Phillips and Jess Wushner. Vesio with a chance to kick the Blues second. 30 out, makes good contact and steers it through. Early blow landed for the Blues, margin out to 18 points. Darcy Vesio on the board.
She knew it was good straight off the boot, Jace. Big celebration, jump in the air and celebrate with her teammates. And Darcy Vesio, as I said, she was so good in season 1, potentially a little bit quiet in season 2 and 3, and she started off season 4 really well.
And Abs, this is why Nicola Stevens is playing in the front half. Smart footballer.
She's very smart. She just lowered her eyes, recognised that Darcy Vesio was on her own, took a great mark and an excellent finish by Vesio.
Stevens taps forward. Vesio just couldn't get it to bounce up to her. Stevens has been a good component in the forward line, just couldn't get hand to foot, might cop contact from Miller. Goes back in for another dose. Little toe poke from Dalton. G's clean. Press-Parker's normally a finisher. Delegates it off, and strolling in goes Walker. So the DNA of how Carlton want to play in 2020 on show inside 50 there.
Let's go, girls, set up.
The Blues had a famed mosquito fleet in the late 70s and early 80s. They've got a new version in their forward half this season. Buzzing around, Walker, Dalton, G, Press-Parker, McAvoy.
Richmond just can't penetrate that zone that they're putting through the centre of the ground, and Maddie Press-Parker, she'll go long here to the top of the square.
She'll set it up. McAvoy lurks at the back. Harris at the front.
How good is Maddie Press-Parker's going to be, guys? She's only played one season, full AFLW, and already gone off to the best foot possible.
And when you put some guns around her to share that load in the middle, as Harris comes in from the top of the square, and the Blues have got 4.
So a hold off the footy. We heard, first of all, no Richmond player had nominated to go on the ruck, so Harris was uncontested. Vesio took possession, but Press-Parker's held off the footy right in her hitting zone here.
How about those names? Harris, Vesio, Press-Parker, McAvoy. This Carlton side is in very good stead for the years to come.
Maddie Press-Parker's 7-3 in her debut season. There wasn't much she didn't do. All Australian, joint best and fairest, NAB rising star. You can drop the rising. She's just a star.
She said at quarter time, her role is, yes, to find the footy herself, but it's also to bring her teammates into the game, and that's exactly what she's done for 3/4 of this game, and I'm sure that she'll continue it in the final quarter as well.
It was impressive from a 19-year-old, wasn't it? You could tell she was physically rattled. She'd been shaken in that first term. She was out of her comfort zone, but she still had the right thoughts going through her head.
And she's been dealing with that hard tag for the first half of footy. Alana Woodward's been doing an excellent job, and she's still managed to get off the leash.
She's that new breed of footballer we keep talking about, Abs. The player that's come through the system. She started when she was 5 years old and hasn't stopped since. And she's just
through her. Doonan, clever, quick Irish woman, sends it deep. Downey getting the one hand to it. Outstanding play. Benefit of experience and knowing your capabilities.
Alison, 2 metres. Yeah, that's your line there.
And she, in a competition of dual sport stars, must be held in the highest regard. What a player she was for Dandenong in the WNBL. She's been a great player for Carlton through their first 3 and a bit years of AFLW, and steers it home. The Blues are going to get on the board in round 1.